Just stopped for gas at Jose Canseco's gas station. They advertise best prices in Vegas, and I never see lower prices, so I go there all the time. Already played the Bally's Free Roll, and already played a few hours at Aria, and now I'm about 2 minutes away from my Airbnb. Gonna check in, sleep a little bit, and get back to the Strip. Alright, just woke up and I'm heading back to the Strip. I slept, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours. Anyway, these 4 dealers are massive, massive pieces of trash. And here is the chronological list. Them getting on my list of dealers I'm never going to tip again as long as one of us is still alive. The first one, it happened at Bellagio. As far as I know, he still works at Bellagio. I don't play there a ton anymore. I knew he had a problem with someone else who played in the room, and he wasn't a great dealer, but I tipped him. When he saw me talking to this other guy, he started hating me instantly. That down of his, where he was dealing my table, and for the first time he saw me interact with this other player he had a problem with, he tried pushing my pot. I won 2 hands that half hour. He tried pushing both to the losing player, hoping I wouldn't notice, and just giving my money away. Stopped him both times got my money back, and I'll never tip him again as long as he lives. He also tried to make me post when we opened a new table once. No, new players do not need to post. The second one was in, actually I can't remember if the second one was St. Louis or Maryland. I'm pretty sure it was Maryland. In MGM National Harbor, some of the dealers, I think they were making so much money, they were getting like very entitled. And one dealer, this guy was such a piece of garbage. There was a player at the table who seemed fairly new, like very new to poker. Actually, a lot of people in the area were new to casino poker because there wasn't a casino in the Washington, D.C. area until they built this one. So this guy, he wasn't on his phone, he wasn't distracted, he just didn't understand how it worked. He was always paying attention, he just needed to be told that it was his turn to act, which I had absolutely no problem with. So much better than people who know how poker works and are on their phones or are watching TV, and you have to tell them every single time it's their turn that they need to act to keep the game moving. I had no problem with how much attention this guy was paying to the game. He just wasn't really used to it. So instead of saying it's on you, at one point the dealer just stared at him and said, "My kids are literally starving while you make this decision." And those were the magic words for him to never get tipped by me as long as I live. The third one was in St. Louis. I was driving cross country. I stopped there to play. I won a very small hand. I think I raised to like $12 pre-flop. One guy called, and then I bet the flop and he folded. Those pots are way too small for me to tip every single one. What I do with pots like that, I'll usually tip every 2 pots like that. Like, I'll hold off on the first. If a second one comes up, I'll tip on the second. Or if I don't win a second hand and the dealer's down, but I see he was very fast or not making any mistakes or like doing things to keep the worst players at the table or things like that, I might tip one as he gets up, but I kind of wait to see what happens the rest of the down. So that hand happens, I don't tip, and that guy couldn't wait, you know, his last 20 minutes of the down to see what happened. He just instantly started treating me like garbage. I was sitting on more than 300, which was the max you could sit down with. So he kept like pointing at my chips and saying, you doing good today? You up money today? You're winning? Yeah, you have a lot of money? Yeah, you're doing okay? Like, all that money should be his or something. And that guy in the pickup truck just tried to kill everybody, but whatever. You need to make that left turn. Then the next time he got a tip, because I guess he thought I didn't know tipping was a thing, he got a tip from this, I guess, local older guy named Larry, and instead of just saying, like, thanks, Larry, he, like, slammed the tip on the well, like, 10 times, all very loudly, and then screamed out, "Thank you very much for the tip, Larry." Like, I had no idea what tipping was, and now I do, and now I was just going to hand him all the money I had to my name. So that guy is never getting a tip as long as he lives, although I'll probably never see him again. And the fourth one works at Venetian right now. I just started playing there pretty consistently. If he doesn't get tipped what he feels is appropriate, he logs you out. I've seen him log someone else out. He tried to log me out that same day. I noticed, stopped him. The next day I was sat at his table. I gave him my card. He pretended to swipe it, didn't, put me in as a guest. I told him, then he put me in. So now he doesn't try to log me out, that he knows I'm going to catch it every time. He did last night not clock other people out when they left. So we had a full table and two guys left pretty quickly, and he moved towards Bravo to log them out and then chose not to while we had a list, so we wouldn't get new players. So we were playing six-handed at an eight-handed table with people waiting on the list because he wanted us to play short because he didn't think we were tipping him enough. I'm never tipping him as long as I live. So that guy is a world-class piece of garbage. I don't get... He's friendly with a few players in the room. I don't get how. I don't know how a ton of people seem to have history with him. The first time he dealt a table I was playing, as soon as he left, a guy asked me, "Do you have history with him also?" Like, that guy apparently does. It seems like half the people at every table tip all night normally, and then once he gets there, they stop. And he thinks being even slower and treating us even more like garbage is going to get us to start tipping him. No, it's actually going to be the opposite. If he actually acts like an actual human being, maybe we'll start tipping him. I'm not gonna, as long as I live. But anyway, I'm closing in on 10,000 hours of poker in casinos, and it doesn't happen often, but there are 4 people on my list of dealers who, one of us, either the dealer or me, needs to die before I start tipping them again. But I'm in the Harris parking garage right now. I'm gonna walk to Venetian, start there. I don't know if I'll end there, but I want to play. I've played about 4 hours already today. Before I checked into Airbnb, I'm gonna play, I don't know, at least 8, maybe 12, 14, 16 more hours.